What's up, Bronco Nation? I'm Evan Sanford, and today I am joined by Carter Davis and Chris Van Sick. We are the Bronco Country Roundup, and Chase Glorefield could not be with us today for very, very good reason. And we are going to share that with you a little bit later in this podcast. But quick shout out to my co-hosts here. Did an awesome job without me. I missed you guys. It was fun listening. And we got a lot of Penn State fans who had a lot of fun listening. So I'm glad you guys found the channel. Glad you guys commented, all that good stuff. We're going to talk a little Fiesta Bowl today, give you a little Fiesta Bowl Eve arguments to be had. So that ought to be fun. But real quick, before we get started today, I wanted to shout out my in-laws, if you're listening. Quick thank you. They made our Christmas holiday and the travel so amazing, and our time in Boise. I don't live in Boise anymore, and I miss it dearly. So every time I get a chance to go to Boise, it's very special for my wife and I, because it is a special place. And they made it amazing. We had a heck of a time touring around. The city changes a little bit every time, or between each trip I take to Boise, and it's fun seeing all the little differences and all the good spots. And shout out to Boise Fry Company for being just as amazing as ever. Also, there's 2 In-N-Outs now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, more.
And they're within.
Good luck waiting in that line.
Yeah.
Well, we did. We just drove right past. I was like, wait, there's 2 now? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, one by the mall, the big one. I'm pretty sure there's one in Nampa coming.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, all the
I don't think it's that good, so I don't get it.
all the California transplants will be happy.
Yeah.
But Five Guys is better. Excuse me. Well, anyways, so today we've got a lot of really cool, interesting news to discuss today. Go over with you. Recruiting and a JUCO court ruling in the case of Diego Paiva and Vanderbilt. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We got some basketball to talk about because I believe our Broncos had a very nice kind of edge of seat type of win there against the Spartans of San Jose State. So we'll have Chris tell us all about that. And then, of course, finally, we will talk about the Fiesta Bowl, which is tomorrow, and I'm not going to sleep tonight. Anyway, let's get started. Chris, Carter, we have recruiting news. Let's take me through it. Give me all that info. Who wants to start us off?
I'll get us a kick started here. We've had quite a few additions, either that through the JUCO ranks or the transfer portal. So I'm excited to talk about some of those. The first one I'll talk about is a young man named Sherrod Smith. He is a corner. Here's some of his highlights. If I can get the play. There you go. He's a very talented corner. Coming out of high school, he told me he had no offers, which if you watch this highlight film, kind of surprises me. He is going to be coming in here as a true sophomore. Now that, of course, we'll talk about it, that could be affected by the JUCO ruling. Out of College of San Mateo, 6'1", 180 pounds, had 4 interceptions last season. Boise State's been chasing a JUCO corner for a long time now. And they've swung and missed at a couple, but they got this kid, and I'm excited to see what he can do. Hits well, tracks the ball really well, has ideal size for a corner. So hopefully we see some of this, some improvement. I know corners has been the Achilles heel of this defense, so take a look at this stuff. After that, another JUCO guy is Tyrell Brown. He's a defensive tackle. I'll throw his stuff up here as well. And he's just just causes a lot of havoc. He's number 46 here. You'll see him coming on through there, just smashing that quarterback. He had quite a few offers. Finding a good JUCO defensive lineman, it's pretty hard, honestly. And it was a big home run get for Boise State. He's from the College of the Canyon, 6'4", 280 pounds. Not quite sure on his eligibility. I believe he has at least 2 years left, but I couldn't find all the details on that. But a really talented player. He's going to come in. We definitely need that defensive line depth. So I expect him to see time immediately. Carter, I'll throw it over to you for a couple more.
Yeah. Yep.
I got more when you're done.
I got two. Won't be as in depth just because one is a guy that hasn't really played, and the other everybody already knows. I'll start with the very well known, very controversial to another team in our conference, which is great to see. Malik Sherrod, I believe is how you pronounce it, the starting running back for Fresno State. The past few years, I believe he was injured this last year, so he didn't play as much, but he hit the transfer portal and one day just committed to Boise State, and his commitment post had the comments turned off. And if you go to the quotes of that post, you will see why. The Fresno State fans showed their true colors, the colors that everybody knows, and it was beautiful to see. I'm glad he's here. You had people calling him all sorts of names. You had Fresno State alums saying they would never put on that blue jersey. So it was awesome to see. I'm glad he's here. I think he's going to be awesome running back depth. Not sure he can be RB1, but maybe a good backup to Sire Gaines. I've seen people talk about how he could be a kick return specialist. So that would be awesome to see as well. Overall, super, super talented guy. A lot of rushing yards, a lot of rushing touchdowns for the Bulldogs, and he's going to do better here. So it's awesome to see.
Had a kick return touchdown against Boise State, if y'all remember that one.
Well, yeah.
Well, we do play the Bulldogs this coming season, so let's hope we can kind of reverse that.
Yeah.
The second of the two is Miles Walker. He is a offensive tackle transfer out of Ohio State, 6'5", 317 pounds. Don't know a lot about him as far as offers. Again, he just all of a sudden committed yesterday. I can't see really anything on his X profile. But coming out of high school, was it this morning? Was it today?
Yeah, so he was crystal balled to Boise State like last week, I want to say. Right. But it has been an absolute blur the last week. But he's been crystal balled to us for a little while. And if you subscribe to 24/7 on Bronco Country, you would have had that information. If you don't, then
yeah.
But
so that's right. Yes, he was crystal balled. I thought it was yesterday, but he committed today officially. Don't know about his transfer offers, but I know coming out of high school, he had plenty of Power 4 offers. I mean, ones I have written down are Ohio State, obviously, Indiana, Penn State. From what I can remember, it was Duke, West Virginia, Iowa. I think he had a Kentucky offer, like tons and tons of Power 4 offers. So he is coming to us. Not sure the reason why, but 6'5", 300 pounds, and almost a 4-star offensive lineman. That I'll take that any day. So excited for both of those guys.
That's going to be some great competition. You guys just mentioned 4 transfers: corner, running back, defensive line, offensive line. And even if these guys don't necessarily start, I would expect to see them in some capacity next year. And it's going to create depth. It's going to create competition. And that is going to bode very well for the future of this team. I am thrilled by all these gets. And actually, speaking of which, Chris, you said you had more for us?
I got 2 more for you. Yeah, they've been busy. The first one
today.
I got. Let me make Keanu Maeloto. I apologize, Keanu, if I mispronounced that. He is a defensive lineman, just transferred in from University of Arizona. 3 years of eligibility. 6'3", 275 pounds. Coming out of high school, he had one offer. It was Arizona. So maybe that was just his favorite team, and he didn't even bother recruiting much. That happens sometimes. But he's a talented young man. I do have some of his stats. He didn't play all that much last season, so keep that in mind. But it's just another defensive line piece that we need so badly after losing Herbert Gums, Sheldon Newton, Michael Callahan. I think a lot of people forget about him. Very talented group there, and we are going to need these replacements. And I think he can make a big impact. So that's Keanu, and then Stealing from another rival, I don't really consider them rivals, but I know a lot of them do. Malachi Williams from the old University of Idaho Vandals. He has 1 year of eligibility. He's I believe a 2-tier captain there, so he's got some leadership skills. He's an edge. Had let's see, 6.5 sacks, 7.5 tackle for loss, and it's just an impressive young man. 6'3", 240 pounds. I know he had offers from Cal, a couple other Power 4 schools, if you want to call them that. So I'm excited to see what he can do coming in. I always say running backs and pass rushers, you can never have enough of them. So I love having him on the edge there. But yeah, is that enough recruiting content? I don't know. Come on, 6 guys.
It's pretty good.
So happy. Oh, I love it. And honestly, I don't know about you guys. I mean, you guys are native Idahoans. I'm from Washington. I lived in Idaho for 11 years, and I'm an alum. But I don't really feel like Idaho is the rival anymore. I would have said BYU if they were still on our schedule, but now it's more focusing on, well, Fresno, of course, always Fresno, but Washington in the new budding Snake River rivalry.
Yep.
That's more or less what I see. That's a really good regional rival. Idaho, I think it's a sign of how the times have changed, where he's not the first Vandal transfer that we've had on campus. And not just in this session, but in the last 5-10 years or so. He's not the first, and he probably won't be the last. Local kids want to shop. Maybe they didn't grow up hating Boise State as much as their parents did. Their parents will probably never get over it. Some of the older generation might get over it. I don't even when I look at Idaho, I just think why would anyone want to live in Moscow? And that's about it.
Don't even get me started about that town of Moscow. Don't even get me. I hate that place. But my father-in-law, he doesn't like the Vandals. He got into a fight with a bunch of Vandal fans back in the 90s at some random game. So he doesn't like them. Yeah, like a fist fight.
Real fight?
Like a real fight. Like a real fight. They fought about the game. So he doesn't like them. My dad, he's the same generation. He doesn't really care, but he obviously doesn't like them that much. But I really think it's a generational thing, because the last time the Vandals beat Boise State, I believe, was 97, maybe 98, and that's when I was born. So they haven't beat the Broncos in almost 3 decades. It's not going to happen. It's just like you said, the times have changed. They're FCS, we're FBS. It's just not the same anymore.
Yeah. So Snake River rivalry, I'm all for it.
I think Washington State and Fresno are too.
Now, I think Oregon State shouldn't be looked over as well. I think I like Beaver fans personally, honestly. So I think Fresno, Oregon State, Washington State, that's a great little
trio
of rivalries.
I absolutely agree. It's more Pullman's a little bit more drivable from Boise and back and forth, but I 100% agree.
Well, also, I think there's a lot of Washington State fans. Sorry to keep cutting you off, Evan, but I think there's a lot of Washington State fans here in Boise. The Silly Birch at the bar downtown had a takeover sort of event for Coug fans. There was a lot of people there. That was the most visiting fans I've seen in a long time. So I think there's a lot living here. I'm sure there's a lot living up there in the Spokane area as well. And like you said, travel ability, that makes it pretty good.
Absolutely. And little technical glitch there. We apologize, viewers. Anyway, just a shameless plug for recruiting before we move on, because there's a ton of insider information that can be found if you comb through the Bronco Country, the Corrals page on Bronco Country. Check it out, because there's a lot of nice little tidbits, we'll call it. So if you're not on Bronco Country, give it a try, give it a look, because there are some more commits that could be on the horizon. And leave it there. So real quick, if either of you want to cover this, the Diego Paiva Vanderbilt ruling and how that's going to affect college football, how that's going to affect Boise State moving forward. So if you've been living under a rock, there was a lawsuit there that Diego Paiva won that in short or in layman's terms, I suppose, means that JUCO players can now, or FBS players who came via the JUCO route, I should say, won't have those JUCO years count against their eligibility, meaning they could get up to 1 to 2 years back and still play. So there's still some figuring out to be done, but that is interesting new precedent that this court decision is kind of taking college football down. So what do you guys think? I'm going to start with you actually this time.
Me? I didn't really hear
Carter
you.
has no thoughts. Oh.
Well, one just
glitching
stop
out?
us with clarification.
A little bit.
Evan. Yeah, your audio is not great, but we're getting through it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I apologize, viewers.
No big deal. Doesn't this ruling only affect the last 4 years as of right now?
I believe, yeah, it's the last, I think it's the last 5 years. So I think 2019 and beyond, if you played in a JUCO, your eligibility is fine. And you asked how I think about it, Evan, I think, so I'm going to go with that. I mean, it makes sense, but it's, I don't know. It's just weird because you kind of get to that idea of like the joke about like, oh, we have 30-year-olds playing in college football.
Mm-hmm.
You could technically do that. Like if you play 3 years at a JUCO or 2 years and maybe you're a little bit older. I know some kids who didn't graduate high school because they were held back until they were like 19. So then you go to a JUCO for 2 years, you're 22. Then maybe you go to a FBS school, you're there for 5 years because you're redshirt. At that point, you're scraping 30. And I can't imagine playing college football at my age. I'm 26 and my knees already hurt. My ankles already hurt. You can hear me click-clacking down a hallway because my ankles have so much arthritis in them already. So it's like, I get the point, but like, I don't know how you can look past 2 years of being in college because it is a college. It's just not a big one. So I don't know how you can look past it. I get the idea behind the ruling, but it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah. And, well, real quick before I get to my point, how is my audio? Can you guys hear me clearly?
It's okay.
It was okay.
Okay.
We're understanding.
Well,
I can understand it. I just didn't hear my name, so I think we just got to roll with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, viewers, I do apologize, and I am looking into technical upgrades that can be made. So if you can't tell what I'm saying, again, I am sorry. But the point I was going to make about this is how it negatively, I think, it will impact high school recruiting and high school recruits. There's going to be a lot of now with FBS programs trying to get guys with experience and age. Carter brought up age, and all I think about are BYU players who already kind of have that age advantage. They're going to be in their 40s when they're playing.
Yeah, I totally forgot about people going on missions.
Yeah, going on a mission in another 2 years.
Going on a mission, doing 2 years of a JUCO, then damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, the transfer portal has already hurt high school recruiting a lot. And I think opening this up is just going to make it worse. I understand the lawsuit and why he sued him, and he wants his NIL money, and I get that. But I think doing something like this long term will have a very negative effect on high school recruiting that's already hurting. So I don't know what they'll do. I don't follow it all that close. I know of it. I knew the details, but so I don't know what the next step from here is. I know it just affects the 5 years for now, and I hope it kind of just stays that way.
You know, just thinking about it off the top of my head, there's already almost 6,000 people in the portal. I saw a post like yesterday saying 5,700 people. And so if you're a high school kid right now, there's 5,700 people in the portal. There's now probably thousands more with eligibility, like Devin Wright, who wasn't going to be eligible, but is now trying to get on another team, who was a former Boise State Edge, if people remember. If I'm a high school kid, I probably just try to go to a JUCO and try to ball out for a year. My eligibility is fine, but this really changes the landscape of high school recruiting to where it is a pipeline system, high school to JUCO to FBS. Because why would you want to go to even Boise State and try to develop, lose 2 years of eligibility, and then maybe get your spot taken by a guy who developed 2 years in a JUCO and is now a freshman in the eyes of the law, who
Right.
has the same skill level as you, but they're a freshman. So I think this will change and make it sort of a free agency. You go to a JUCO. Here's my JUCO tape. Here's my experience. Who wants me the most?
Yeah, it's a wild new world of recruiting. It is a wild new world of college football, and I think the only kind of fun headline I saw in regards to this type of thing is that people want a commissioner. Now that most of them want Nick Saban, but the other name I want give me Chris Peterson.
Yeah,
I wouldn't wish that on Chris Peterson. I agree he's perfect for it, but don't put that on him.
yeah. I don't know who would be a good pick because Roger Goodell gets picked apart by fans, and I feel like college football fans are the whiniest bunch in the world. So whoever is picking that job needs to get paid good money because they are going to be dealing with just a boatload of drama.
How about this? And this is just off the top of my head. Andrew Luck.
Ooh,
I mean, we
Stanford
could get some
guy.
awesome. We could get some awesome General Luck tweets. You know, the guy that runs that account.
yeah.
Yeah, writing back to his mother.
Just
That could be
really
funny.
just popped into my head there. So
Could be.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I love that idea. All right. So moving on, we'll talk a little bit of basketball, and then we'll get to our main event, some Fiesta Bowl coverage. So, Chris, tell us about basketball.
yeah, I mean, there's only been one game since the last podcast, and it was against San Jose State in San Jose. San Jose isn't the preseason poll didn't have them real high. I thought they were better than they were ranked. They can shoot the ball, no doubt, and they showed that against Boise State. Boise State went into halftime losing by some points, 35-28. Luckily, Tyson Degenhart put on his Superman cape and kind of took over there in the second half. He ended the game with 26 points, four 3-pointers. Just as, like I told you all before, kind of the Ashton Genty of this basketball program. Just unbelievable. It was so Alvaro Cardenas played at San Jose State before this, so it was nice to see him kind of return. Probably the biggest moment and the biggest surprise of the season so far has been from Javon Buchanan. He had a block to end the game, which is wild. But he came from a D3, and I think Kevin and I kind of tweeted about it. We thought there was going to be some adjustments. I mean, that's a big jump, and he's come in and just played great. So shout out to Jevin Buchanan. But the Broncos pulled it out 73-71. 10-3 overall now, and most importantly 2-0 in Mountain West play. They do have this is sad for them, but they play at the same time as the Fiesta Bowl tomorrow against Wyoming. So that will be a record low viewership. I have no doubt.
I can't imagine a single Boise State fan that's going to watch them over that.
Yeah, no one's watching that. So they play that, and then they have San Diego State at Extra Mile. That's going to be a heck of a game. Make sure to get your tickets for that. Pack that stadium. I believe that's coming up this Saturday. So a nice win. Not a pretty one, but a nice win.
All right. Well, that brings us to our main segment, the part you guys have all waited for. The reason why our very own Chase Glorfield is not with us today is because he is in Glendale, Arizona, getting us amazing content from the Fiesta Bowl festivities. Say Fiesta Bowl festivities five times fast. I dare you. So he is getting us some awesome videos. Now, do warn you guys a little bit. There is ranging volumes to this, so you might want to have your volume toggle ready. He's filming on his phone and everything. So just be ready to maybe toggle that volume and
unfortunately, hear Taylor Swift. So
Well, Carter loves that.
I don't want this bid to continue. That was a one-time thing.
Here is
it's
our
Carter
own
Swift.
Oh,
Chase
no.
Lorfield.
What's up, Bronco Nation? Hopefully you can hear me. Here we are, the pep rally in downtown Scottsdale, Arizona. Things just ended. It was crazy. Jeremiah Dickey spoke. Marlene Trump spoke. WWE wrestler Big E spoke. It's crazy. We're rocking out. Tomorrow's the game. There's been a lot of fun here, and I can't wait to get some footage of the game for you guys. Have a good one.
That's right.
What was that, Chris?
Bye.
What was that, Chris?
That was me singing to
Yeah.
was that Pink or Backstreet Boys.
You don't even know.
I don't know,
Isn't
but
that-
I know
is
I've
that
seen it
NSYNC?
at Terry's
That is
bar
NSYNC.
here in Boise, Idaho. So little liquid
that
courage
looks like
in me.
so
got
much
me
fun.
Yeah, he's having a blast. So
Jealous.
he mentioned some WWE guy. Here is that individual.
We got one more announcement from the Fiesta Bowl. I'm the chief Fiesta officer of the Fiesta Bowl, and I want to say you guys have been incredible all week. You've turned out in droves. I want to say I am rooting for you guys. You have been incredible. But there's one thing that I've wanted to do. Boise! 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 Good luck, Broncos!
Oof.
Well, that'll get
I'm
you pumped
hyped
up.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Biggie, he's a cool guy. He's in the New Day with Kofi Kingston and another wrestler. I don't know. I think he said chief Fiesta officer, so he might have been hired by the Fiesta Bowl, kind of like not like Gronk because it's not his bowl game, but maybe there to just get people going.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that when I first watched it. So maybe he was hired there and he's a fake fan.
Yeah. So and then here's your Taylor Swift warning. Here it comes.
I wear t-shirts. Older Taylor Swift is better than newer. I'll say it. I don't like
Ooh,
Taylor
that's
Swift,
true.
but I will say one is better than the other.
That is true.
You're gonna get into a fight with my wife over that.
I'll fight your wife. That's rude.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
so sorry. I'll take that back. I will not be
I will
fighting
referee
anybody.
that match.
We need to get Big E. Big E will be my tag team partner.
There you go.
Well, she is very, very actually surprisingly strong for her size. She is a solid 5'2" wearing shoes up. So. All right, let's see. Did we get those videos of Marlene Trump and Jeremiah Dickey?
So those are quite a bit longer, so I'm not going to play
Yeah,
those.
I think the Dickey video is like 2 minutes long.
Okay,
Yeah,
well maybe.
But Chase
Check those
Warfield,
out on our YouTube
yeah.
channel.
Yeah, on YouTube. Chase posted them on X as well. So if you want to watch them anywhere, you can find them there. But go to YouTube because that's just better.
Yeah, gets us more views.
It is.
Please.
Exactly.
And thank you. All right, John. It is Fiesta Bowl Eve. We've got the Pennsylvania State University Nittany Lions. I don't know what Nittany Lion is, and I don't know where Pennsylvania State University is. If you're east of the Mississippi,
Lion.
I don't even know who you are. So
I believe
like,
a Nittany Lion is a mountain lion, and Penn State is in between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
well, why not just be a mountain lion?
Because a Nittany lion is a real thing, and it's extinct now. I looked it up.
So their mascot is a dead animal?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well.
Well, just be a T-Rex or something cooler
Be a
than a
T-Rex.
dead mountain
There
lion.
should be a T-Rex.
A
There should be a
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
If you're gonna be a, I mean,
T-Rexes.
or be a dodo bird. Oh, I'm
That's
gonna
a
be
terrible.
an extinct lion.
That's a terrible logo.
That would be a great
just
minor
thinking
league
extinct
baseball
lion.
team.
Yeah,
I
the
bet
dodo
there is-
birds would be. I guarantee there actually is one.
Yeah, there definitely is.
That'd be legit. All right, well, Penn State fans, that was just a healthy little bit of smack talk. I do genuinely not know where the heck you guys are even located in the state of Pennsylvania. It's just a rectangle, but you are there. You are somewhere, and you are from the eastern part of the state. That's all I know. Or no, eastern part of the country. So, yay! Have fun with the flight.
We could talk
All
about
right.
their past legal troubles. That'd be funny. No.
Oh,
No.
let's not go there.
No. Who said
okay.
that? How dare that?
That's a low blow.
We should say that, Evan.
Evan,
I'm just kidding.
don't come after me on that one. Oh man! All right. Well, in all seriousness, Penn State fans, if you are watching, then I do hope that you have a very happy New Year. I do hope that it's a close game. I do hope you guys travel well to the game and have yourselves a very merry time at the Fiesta Bowl. I was trying to make a Fiesta pun, but I couldn't think of one. No rhyme intended.
Most of the Penn State fans have given us a lot of views and a lot of interaction on our YouTube channel. And I appreciate that. They've all been okay, not all. Most have been super cool, and I appreciate that. So shout out to them for checking us out, and subscribe to us just because we're cool.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to Lions 24/7. They had me on for a interview with Tyler. Tyler's a cool guy. Most of the commenters in there are regular people. There are some YouTube trolls, but it is what it is. So go check that out. I break down the team against Penn State a little bit. I give a prediction at the end. So, some publicity for them. Come back to us, whole thing. But shout out to them as well.
Yeah. And if you guys do indeed beat our Broncos tomorrow, then, well, personally, I'm going to be rooting for Arizona State, but I'll also be pulling down the winner of Notre Dame, Georgia. So you'll have a very, 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 and I can't understate how casual fan that I will be for Penn State, but you'll have some level of casual fan in me. But
yeah.
Well,
sorry, that's my bunny. He's upset. Sir.
Oh.
Sir. All right.
All right. Well, with that, I was about to start our kind of final thoughts and maybe a little score prediction for the game. I've got a couple different scores in mind. Maybe I'll just get it started here since I wasn't there last week. For some thoughts for the game is that Boise State, despite what one former Penn State offensive lineman might have you think, Boise State is more than capable of staying in this game, keeping it a close game. We have the talent. Yes, we have a size. There's a bit of a size gap and an athlete gap, but there's discipline. We are one of the least penalized teams in the country. We don't make mistakes. We are one of the best coached teams in the country. And now, real quick before I say, did I just have another spike in lag there?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Clear? Okay. And yeah, once again, viewers, I do apologize for any audio difficulties right now. But we have the talent, we have the coaching to stay in this game, just like we did Oregon. But I do not like having us constantly bring up Oregon. That was week 2. That could have been 5 years. It's both Oregon and Boise State are different teams now. But what holds true is that we have the talent and the discipline to make this a game, make it a close game, and win this game. If we come out and we make mistakes, it's going to be an SMU. It's going to be a blowout in a bad way. But if we play a game, then there is no reason why this should not be either a Boise State win or a very close loss, possession loss. So I feel very anxious because I'm a fan and my entire self-worth is surrounded around how a bunch of college kids do on a football team. So I'm very anxious for that.
It needs a hug, I think.
None of my academic achievements give me any self-worth. It's all Boise State football. But that's some bad humor there. So as a fan, I am very nervous and anxious for this game, but I do think I'm going to say Boise State 24-21 in a very Pete Carroll classic type of game where we're going to run the ball. We might be losing at halftime, but we keep it close, and then we can pop a big run at the end as we wear them down. We've got a strong, healthy offensive line that has gotten healthy now for the first time since Oregon. They're all together again. And not only are they all together again, they're all healthy again. First time since week 2. That's huge. If we come out and we're sloppy, if we come out and we turn the ball over, if we come out and just go a bunch of 3 and outs well into the second quarter, this becomes a 42-17 kind of deal. But to keep play a Pete Carroll-esque type of game, 24-21 Boise. So, Carter, I'll turn to you. Hopefully I wasn't rambling too much.
No. So I gave my prediction, like I said, with Tyler, but I'll kind of repeat it here. It's sort of a picking between a heart and a head type of thing. Heart tells me, like you said, 24-21, 27-24, some sort of 3-point victory for Boise State. If we come more logical, obviously Penn State is the more talented team. I'm not sure about coaching. I really think Danielson is a great coach. Honestly, it comes down to special teams play. Maddox Madsen, how can he play? And obviously how the offensive line can make holes for Genty. So heart tells me 3-point win. Mine tells me probably a 7-point win for Penn State. But the whole idea of like this being a blowout, I've seen some wannabe college football content creators on TikTok and Twitter saying like this should easily be a blowout, 51-17, Penn State, all that sort of stuff. Honestly, if Penn State wins by more than 14, it'll be a extremely disappointing showing for Boise State and for Bronco fans. Like, honestly, in my heart, I do not believe Penn State will win by more than 10. But I think if I had to be logical, I would say 28-21 Penn State. But if I got my wish, it would be a Bronco win.
Yeah. And Spencer Danielson has not been blown out as a head coach.
Exactly.
He has not. He is too good at motivating and preparing this team. He has been blown out as a coordinator when Andy Avalos was the head coach. Andy Avalos has been blown out with the same roster. Like,
yes.
That's how much coaching matters. And Danielson, the staff, Dirk Cutter, I think that I 100% agree with you. They're going to come out, they're going to have a game plan, and they will not be nervous, but they could still just be out-talented, out-physicaled, and lose the game by 7. They could.
Yeah.
Could very well.
Yeah.
Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, and I agree with all your guys' points. I think the coaching is fairly even. I think the biggest keys to the game, because I could very well see Penn State coming out and knocking us in the mouth to begin the game, just because there is that talent gap there. So don't be surprised if Penn State does jump out to an early lead. But I think this team has the mental fortitude and just the ability to make in-game adjustments, which is really exciting for me to have seen this season, because I didn't feel like they did that with Avalos. Heart and head are two separate things. I can never bet against Boise State. I just can't do it. I think it does come down to the offensive line. Can they get a push? And Maddox Madsen, at some point, there's going to be 4 or 5 plays in this game that Maddox Madsen is going to have to make a play that maybe he hasn't made yet. And if he doesn't make it, we're going to lose. But that's football. That's big boy football there. Sometimes the quarterback has to make those plays. Defensively, I hope we can get some pressure on them. I think we are going to have to blitz. But I think, and I'm probably going to get some scuff for this, the defensive backs are improving. They're showing improvement. They've played their best couple of games these last couple of games. Let's hope that continues. Tubner's going to be back. I saw Sire Gaines is there. I'm not real confident he's going to be playing too much if he is healthy. But Yeah, I'm going to go 31-28. Boise State wins.
All right. And actually, a question for my co-host here because we did not talk about this. But if our Broncos do win, now it is New Year's Eve tomorrow. But if our Broncos do win, how about a victory live stream? How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah,
yes.
I'm down.
I do not plan to jump into the Boise River like I did with the Mountain West Championship game. So I do think I could do a live stream.
If we win, I might go to the Boise River and jump in. I'm going to tell you.
If we win, I might get naked and jump in the river. Who knows? Like what? Who knows what might happen? So
that would be a live stream right there.
Maybe. I could make national news. Who's to say?
If we win, I might do what I did when we beat UNLV in the Mountain West title game. And you guys never saw this footage, nor will you ever. But there's footage of me taking my Boise State flag and I'm making a total fool of myself. I sprinted a lap around my neighborhood with the Boise State flag.
Oh yeah.
I believe I'm the only one that's privy to that video. I'll hold on to that for later time.
Oh no.
No, that's funny.
Oh, I was.
Yep.
I was not.
I mean, I will be at the James. So.
Oh, are you going to the James?
Yep. I will be at the James. I will be right next to the river. So. Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah, I was
just know that if we do go live tomorrow, there will 100% be some liquid energy courage in us. So
it will be a R-rated.
Yeah.
R-rated live stream.
I will say this if we go there, this will be viewer discretion advised.
Yeah. And we definitely reserve the right to not do the live stream.
Yeah.
Because if it's ugly, I ain't gonna be in any mood for that.
Yeah,
if we lose, I'm not. No.
Yeah, if we lose, then my wife and I are watching hard and call it a night.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, there's not a chance I'm making it to midnight tomorrow.
If you see us tomorrow, it means something good happened.
Yeah. Yep.
So here's what I want before I sign us off tonight. Jeremiah Dickey says, with a lot of his decisions, and I'm going to ask you guys to make a decision here, that his head, heart, and gut have to align. So I'm going to ask you to make a decision on whether or not you think Boise State is going to win tomorrow. If you have your head, heart, and gut align, all I want is, I don't care about the score. Head, heart, and gut align. Carter Davis, what do you think?
Heart and gut. Damn you for doing this to me.
I'll give you a second there, Carter. We're winning. Everything's aligned for me. I feel like this team has the right mojo. It has the right just feel to it. They want to win for Danielson. They want to win for Genty. They're pissed off about the Heisman. They're gonna win.
Head, heart, and gut. I actually really like what you said, Chris. I think Penn State does go out to a 14-point lead against us. And it's our offense will get first downs and maybe stall out, but it's the defense that's going to have to make the adjustments, and then they do. And we don't let them score again until end of the third quarter, something like that, or somewhere in the second half. They don't score again. We catch up and we make it a ball game, and Boise State ekes out a one-possession win. That's my head, heart, and gut.
What did you do to Carter? Look at him over there.
I'm in a conundrum right now because the thing is, heart and gut. Absolutely, I feel it. Head, I try to be logical when I break down stuff, and I've arrived at a decision. I do think Boise State wins. But it is by 3 points because you have Abdul Carter. I'm pretty sure he won Best Defensive Player of the Year award, didn't he?
For the Big Ten, yes. And he'll be a top 10 pick.
They got that.
Maybe top 5.
They got Tyler Warren. It's a higher recruiting class. But the reason I say we win is James Franklin just cannot convert in big games. And I do think that this team is motivated. Like, Franklin has been complimenting this team, and it doesn't matter. They have that please count us out mentality. Spencer Danielson is feeding this team his energy. So my heart tells me they're going to win. My gut, because of Genty and what happened with the Heisman, I feel like the team's going to be motivated. My head, it'll be tough, but Franklin has failed enough that I think it can happen. So I've been convinced, just barely, but I have been convinced.
Yep.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bronco fans, Penn State fans who have joined us and made it all the way to the end of this longer than anticipated podcast on Fiesta Bowl Eve.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us. I do, if we don't live stream, I do wish you a happy New Year. Hope you had a very happy Christmas to all of you. Go Broncos, and let's get a 4th ring. Let's go.
Yeah.